Don't. No. You. But I want to.
Oh, I love that. I love that, man.
I'm Marilyn Harris, and this is...
I'm Percy Smith.
And this is Victoriously Crazy Podcast.
That's right.
We know a lot of Victorious fans are big iCarly fans, and I had one very small part. How late were we there, Percy?
Pretty late.
1 a.m.
1 a.m., something like that, yeah. But you don't know the time. You don't even realize what's going on. You're just there doing what you got to do, and time just rolls along.
It was a lot of singing. It was a lot of dancing. There was a rap battle, and there was a panda, which I really enjoyed. And you're going to be really happy about that because we have a special guest coming up, and it's going to be Erik Betts, the guy that played the panda. Can you believe that?
Yeah, right? I can't wait, man.
Hey, Bennett, where's that panda hat?
Yeah, where is it, B? Come on.
Yeah,
Hold
we
on.
want to see it.
You want to see it?
Yeah, man.
Yes, we want to see that panda
Upon
hat.
See
request.
if I can fit it with the headphones.
Oh, that'd be sweet. That would be sweet. Oh, there you go.
Phones are going to have to come off. Let's see.
Oh,
There we go.
Oh, don't you love it?
Oh, now he's talking, see?
That is so
You're
cool,
in the
man.
club. Now I'm Mickey Mouse.
There you
my
go.
Foot. We don't need Mickey. We need Panda.
We got Panda Bennett in the house.
Yeah.
This podcast is panda proof.
That's right. That's right. So, there's some questions. All right, Percy, give it to me,
All right,
baby.
All right. This is a question from Ryan Smith. Are there any deleted scenes where the iCarly crews approach Grandma Harris?
If there were any deleted scenes, I wouldn't know about them because they're deleted. But
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I wasn't involved in the iCarly cast until we actually filmed. They were all kind of mixed up and meshed up in the filming.
Yeah. All right. The question 2 is from Vincent Bilac, not Black. What was your experience when you were involved with iCarly cast and iParty with Victorious?
It was a great experience. All that singing and dancing that you saw, that was actual live singing and dancing.
Yeah, it was.
That may answer a question along the way. It was not a recording. It wasn't lip syncing. They're all very talented young people, and they were all singing and dancing. I actually did some dancing myself. That picture you see of me on all of our social media is from that episode.
Wow.
I have an actual pair phone in my hand. I had my headsets in, and I was blasting some music. And in case you were wondering what it was imaginary music. If it was real music, it would have been James Brown, Cameo, or Buckethead.
Or Buckethead. Yeah, baby. Buckethead is the man. But anyway.
Can I just
And
ask
Bradford.
why
Yes.
why when you're at a party when there's music blasting do you need music in your headphones? It makes no sense, but it's so funny. That's why it works.
Because I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The
That's
characters.
a good question, though.
Yeah.
You know, if it's music playing, why would they have music in your head? Yeah.
I'm crazy and I want to be in my own little world. I want to be at the party, but not at the party. And just like you see people walking down the street with their phone up again. Like that. You know they not talking to nobody.
No, walking all in the street like they don't see a car coming to blast them.
It's a barrier. It's a barrier.
It's a barrier.
Yeah.
They're gonna
So
get barriered with a car. They're going to get the bumper barrier.
so violent.
No, but it's true.
I like it.
I've almost hit 3 or 4 people, man. Just walking the street with looking at your phone. What? Stop it.
And that's why I keep our insurance current.
That's right. Because I love you guys, and I don't want to have that on my mind, man. Okay. All right, 4th question.
From Carry On.
From Karen.
Karen Harris.
Kieran. I think it's Kieron from Kieran Harris.
My cousin.
Your cousin. Everybody named Harris is your cousin, right?
That's right.
I know.
Unless they want money.
Yeah, I know. Then I don't know you. That's when the I don't know you comes in real handy.
That's how it originated.
That's how it originated. He wants I need some money, cousin.
I don't know you.
You ain't right, man. I even use that, you know.
Okay.
All right, the 4th question is from Kieran Harris. What was the funniest moment shooting the episode? Love you.
I love you too, baby. But I ain't giving you my money.
Okay.
The funniest part of the episode for me was actually watching Leon chase that panda. I liked when Sinjin flew through the window and landed in a hot tub. I thought that was kind of funny as well. I really enjoyed the rap battle between Rex and Sam.
Oh,
yeah, that
Sam.
wasn't necessarily funny, but it was very entertaining.
It was funny to me. Man.
Well, she did
play.
insult Rex many ways.
Yeah, Sam don't play. She don't care if you're a puppet.
Yeah, brutal. She cut that puppet down to
she
size.
don't play, man. I love that girl. She's very talented young lady. I miss her.
Yeah, and when you cut a puppet down to size, there's nothing left but feet.
Nothing less, right? With feet.
Just feet. You know, 'cause-
With stubs, right?
Yes, right.
No, let's not turn Rex into a
Oh yeah, it's getting kind of crazy.
I know.
Okay, so the fifth question, did we do that one yet? Or let's see if I can get it down.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
back to Keenan. Did
Yeah.
I meet Keenan Thompson?
Yeah, did you?
I sure did, baby, and I enjoyed every second.
Oh, was he as cool as he appears to be?
He's very cool, and I actually was a little timid about approaching him. I watched Saturday Night Live, and I'm a big fan of his.
Mhm.
And he just came in there like, "Hey, everybody, what's good?" He's Keenan. He's the
That's
way he
is what you see.
That's the way he is, and he's very professional. I always say, be where you're supposed to be, know your lines and what you're supposed to do. Don't cause any problems, and he was all of that and more.
Yeah, no complaining. He's
None.
just a cool guy, man. He's one of the few people I really, really like and I could be friends with.
Oh,
If he had me for a friend.
if he didn't, he's a fool.
That's what I say also.
Yes. So that's it. Yeah, I did meet him. We did chat a little bit. There's always downtime on the set. It's not like, we were best buds or anything, but I did spend a few minutes talking with him. We always just, when you talk to another actor, you try to have a line with it. You don't want to go too far because we're working.
Yeah, and you're trying to memorize what you have to say. So getting into deep conversation is really not necessary unless it's about the work you're doing with that particular actor, especially if you're playing off each other.
Yes.
You can talk about that beforehand so you can get some timing down.
Timing and charisma. And I only had 2 lines. Andre asked me, how did I find out about the party? And I say, Rex texts me or something. And he says, go home. And I say, okay, Andre. But I scream it, of course.
Yeah, say it the way you say it.
Okay, Andre.
That's what the people want to say.
You got it.
That's right.
If I could just mention, I know Ryan Smith asked if there were any deleted scenes. Andre's grandma, right? You were not in any deleted scenes, but there was an extended version of iParty with Victorious. 15 minutes of extra footage. They aired it for one night only on Nickelodeon. But I saw recently a very cool Victorious fan uploaded it to YouTube. We can add that link in the show notes if you want. On YouTube, it's there. There's like 15 minutes of other scenes. I think just some of the other characters are in it. You're not in it, but there is an extended version of the episode with deleted scenes.
I think that's a great idea for the grand fans
do it.
because a lot of times you don't know what was taken out. Like they asked a question about deleted scenes, so that may help answer that question.
Yeah.
So that would be great. See, don't we have the best production supervisor?
I've always said that, now haven't I?
Say it again.
We have the best production supervisor in the
Stop.
world.
Stop.
Yeah, and now that you put that Panda hat on, it's like, ooh,
It's
it's,
got to
even
say.
better.
I guess I'm the production panda today.
You are. Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you guys, I may be the production panda, but our panda is in the waiting room ready to join this party.
All right.
Should we let him in?
Yes.
Let him in. Let him in. Let him in. No way, right?
The panda, I love it. I love
Yes.
And look at that smile. Why would
Oh
they
my
hide that
God.
smile? Come on.
Hey,
man.
guys.
Yes. His name is Erik Betts.
That's right.
He played the Panda.
And it's Betts
Yeah.
like Mookie, Betts.
Yes, but he's swinging a panda suit. Okay.
Not a bat.
Not a bat.
Ooh,
I'm
that's
sure
funny.
you got so many other things to tell us about what you do.
Yeah, man.
How about the fact that Mookie was originally signed with the Red Sox in my hometown of Boston, Massachusetts, where I was born.
Wow, your
Oh.
hometown cool.
He came out here. It's like he's following my path, man.
He is following your
Came
path.
out to the Dodgers out here.
Yeah, he did.
How
Yeah.
often does that happen?
He's here to stay too, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're excited
There
about
you
the
go.
next season.
There you go.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
We were there. It was a very long day, and I had one very small scene where I'm kind of dancing in the corner, and Andre tells me to go home, and I run home with my crazy self. But we watched the whole thing, and I saw all that running that you did.
It was incredible.
How did it feel when they asked you to do that show? Did they tell you were going to be running in a panda suit?
No.
And now we know why.
No.
I knew it.
To be honest with you, that suit and the whole experience was more challenging than I would have ever anticipated.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
I would
It was
think
definitely
so.
It was a hot suit.
And they kept doing it over and over. And I was looking at you, and I'm like, man, who is in that suit? Man, he got to be an athlete, man. You had to be one. I was
Or
like,
just
wow.
somebody very confused.
But your dedication was it was remarkable, you know?
Yeah. Was
Right?
it hard to run with those big feet and all that?
I had,
fur?
you know what I had on the day that we shot that? We didn't use the feet. We used my black, and I had a pair of white sneakers with some black stripes. They almost looked like a Atomics or something. They were like an old martial art type shoe. And so I was able to use that for better stability. But yeah, if I had used panda feet, the visibility was rough. It was if you remember, one of the times I came out holding the head, just because I couldn't, as I was running, it was flopping and I couldn't see where I'm going. And so, for those of you guys that don't know, I used to play the Red and Green Ranger on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers when the show first came out.
Oh,
And
really?
so I'm used to looking through something like this where you can't see below,
Wow.
but you have to move and the helmet has to stay stationary for that to happen. This thing did not do that. If I move my head, the eyes are still looking straight ahead. And so I was like, oh my God, how am I going to do this without killing anybody?
Yeah, and when I saw you holding your head, I thought you had a headache.
I thought you had a headache
I thought you
too.
were like the panda was like, oh, my head is hurting. And it was funny, man.
It
Right?
made it
It's
funny.
Method acting.
That's right, baby.
Well, tell us the story on how you got booked for this role, because
Yeah.
it was such a unique part of the script.
Mm-hmm.
It is it is a very funny story that you asked that. I have to give props to my agent who called and said, hey, so there's an audition going on and they are looking for someone to play a panda who has mascot experience, somebody who's been familiar with working in costumes. Well, I've done a lot of costume work, so I figured, okay, I got this. This isn't a problem. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since 1993, but you know, I've got this. I can do this. So I get to the audition, and it was a last minute audition. I had my son with me, and I said, well, I'm in the streets right now. I've got my kid. It's at a lot that's very private. They don't want anybody just walking in, and so I said, is it okay? Can you confirm that it's okay if I bring my son? Because he's like 9 or 10 years old. Can I bring him? And they called back and said, it's fine. Go ahead. They need you there right now. And so as I'm going there, I started to realize I don't really know, like, what would a panda do? Like, how should I prepare? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how should I do this? And so I look to my kid and I go, Jaden, what should I do? And he starts my son's an actor. And so he tells me what I should
how sweet.
sound like, what I should move like. He tells me, Dad, remember Kung Fu Panda? And I go, yeah. Be like Po. Be like Po. And he gave me 7 things very specifically to do in physicality and how I react with my hands and my body to capture Po's experience. And so I went in there and mechanically did everything my 9-year-old told me to do. And I got the job.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I had to give him 10%.
That's what I was going to ask. I hope you gave him 10%.
That's right. What a
Oh.
brilliant child, right?
That is just an awesome
Isn't
story.
that amazing?
That is amazing. It happens like that sometimes.
That's the
you
best
know?
acting story
How
ever.
about this one? How about this part? My son was sitting in my audition at the time, and he was just sitting there being super respectful and quiet. Anytime the casting women had asked him any questions, he was just really polite. he's carrying himself the way he knew to carry himself.
Okay.
And
Because we don't play that.
I kept while I was doing my performance, I wasn't sure if sometimes, I had the feeling, sometimes when you're doing a performance and you look over because you're feeling kind of needy, and I see her like typing or then writing, and she's looking, and then she gets back to the computer, and I was like, maybe I'm not doing so good. And so when I'm done, she goes, that was really great. That was hilarious. I heard them laughing. And she goes, okay, this is for your son. He has a meeting at this time with this agency. She goes, I've been working for this business for 25, 30 years. He's a star.
Oh,
And I go,
wow.
what? All he did is just sit there. What do you mean what about what I'm doing? She set up a meeting for him at a big agency. And when he did speak, he had something to say, I guess. And she, combined with her personal experience with working with all these kids all the time. And so, Krisha Bullock and Jamie Snow, those are the two casting directors who really set our son's career off. It just like he's been nonstop ever since.
But it goes out to you as a father because he was mannerable. See, when your kids have manners and they know how to act, people notice that. Yeah. Some kids can't sit still.
Because there's a lot of demon childs out there. So when you notice a really, well-spoken, well-behaved child.
I love to see that. I love to see people with children that, hello, yes, sir, no, sir. I mean, and they mean it from their heart.
From the heart.
Right? Yes.
Were there a lot of other people there auditioning with you, or did you see anyone else?
I didn't see anybody at all. My experience was, for me, like an old 80s movie, like John Travolta or something. I'm walking, instead of the streets of New York, I'm walking in downtown LA with my son after the audition, and we cross one of the major boulevards, and I hear, Erik Betts! Erik Betts! And then someone comes running across. They come running across the street. You've got it. You've got the job. They need you back right now for a wardrobe fitting.
Oh, and
I'm like,
God!
You just ran all the way to the studio and you tell me I got, like, that was it was right out of a movie, man. It was right out of a movie.
Oh, they wanted you. They wanted you.
So good.
Yeah. They obviously wanted you from the very beginning.
It was awesome.
And we find as actors, we're both actors as well, that when they give you this, you have to do it right now, no notice. Can you get down there right away? Yeah. You have a really good chance to get that part. Yeah. They want to see if you will hustle and if you are what they think you are.
Yeah, and you will follow through with it,
And let me add this because this is for any young actors up and coming or even veteran ones that are out there. Man, my career. There were times in my past where, like what you were just saying right now, a casting director, a director, if you're reading for director producers and so on and so forth, where they go, okay, what you did was great. Hey, listen, can you try it this way? I used to mentally and emotionally shut down. I immediately thought, I just blew it. I did something wrong. They want something different because I made a bad choice. And the reality is they want to see if you're like clay, if you're moldable, if you're expandable, if you're willing to not just do a cup, can you be versatile? You brought us a bowl, but can you make it a plate? Can you make it a cup? Can I shape and mold you? Are you willing, able, and available to stretch yourself? And guys, what you got to know out there that are listening to this right now is the second they ask you to do something else, you're closer to getting the job. That's not you did anything wrong. You're almost there. You're almost there. So really, when you see those opportunities, say, thank God. It's such a gift. It's a blessing. Getting the audition. That's the first. I treat getting an audition like each agency is a tree, and all the clients of the tree are the leaves. If you get called for an audition, somebody saw your one leaf in that tree. Now all the leaves from various trees, various agencies are all put together, and you got a call back? Oh my God, that's amazing. I'll tell you this though, it has taken a lot of years for me as an actor, not just as a stunt person and a suit performer. So my whole thing was the whole Power Ranger suit acting. your physicality, you have no expression on your face, so you have to learn how to demonstrate the emotion that you're experiencing through your body and physicalization. The whoas and the cartoons and turning corners and whoa and skid and you have to be comfortable in your own skin. And so a lot of times for young actors, I would tell them a great chance to experience what it's like to have that freedom is when you're in a costume for Halloween. That's the overall idea.
Oh,
Halloween,
yeah.
and go walk around and have fun. Isn't it fun to know no one knows who you are, and you've got the full costume on, and you're being silly, and you're walking through grocery stores, and you feel embarrassed at first, and then you remember, wait, nobody knows who I am. Like, they don't even know who you are. So enjoy the freedom of anonymity, and then you start to learn how to translate that into your character, and so you start becoming the character and hiding you behind the character as well.
So, what are your memories of being on the set with iParty with Victorious? What was it like to see everyone?
A party.
It was, wasn't it?
uh,
Yeah.
How about this one? How about this? My better half, Melissa Barker. She used to double somebody on that show. Who do you guys think she doubled?
Sam?
Now watch this. She's a natural redhead. She doubled Ariana.
Really? It was Kat,
Really?
not Sam.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, what did you think when you saw that panda suit the first time?
It looked like fun. I'll be honest. I thought it was going to be fun until I put it on, and then realized how nice and cool it was where I was. And as soon as the suit was fully on, the realization of, my God, I haven't even moved yet, and I'm sweating. And that was that moment where I realized I'm out of shape, and this is gonna be hard.
Oh my God.
That was the moment.
Now, when you met Keenan, did you have the suit on, or were you just you when you first met him?
I did. Nope, I had the suit on when we first met, and when he took it off, he looked. When I say, like, if somebody took water and dumped it on my head, when they took that thing off, he went, "Oh, okay, brother. Nice to meet you.
You okay?
You okay? You need some water?" I'm like, "No, I'm
He's
good.
a
I'm
kind
good."
soul.
Can you step back a couple of feet?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I love that guy.
So you had no
Yeah,
lunch.
right,
Did they
right.
have you there for? I'm sorry. Did they have you there for the table read? Because you just basically kind of ran around. Were you there for that, or?
I was not there for the table read. No, I wasn't there for the table read.
Yeah.
I was there for their walkthrough rehearsal, and then I actually got called back as well because the Panda was so loved in the episode that they wanted me to come back to do some. They were doing. They have a whole website thing that they do, something for their website, behind the scene type
Called
footage,
a
and so they
slap,
wanted
I
me to
think it
come back.
is.
I think so, and so they called me to come back and do that, but I was already at that point tied up on another show, and so yeah.
Yeah, Victorious is very good at that. At if they do all these demographics, and if you're liked, they will bring you back.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
So, do you have any particular memories about your interactions with certain cast members?
I do. Ariana was one of them, big time. One, because I couldn't believe how small she was.
She's
I do.
tiny.
She is so tiny and such a very amazing voice. I love, even when I look at her and listen to her now, her talent and her skill set with her instrument has grown tremendously compared to where she was then. And she was already amazing. Victoria, she's been doing a lot more acting roles, and roles where she's kind of venturing more into the woman that she is now, opposed to playing the young kid that she did then. She was an old soul. Like, she was just so freaking mature. And
Yes.
I just remember thinking, like, how old are you? You know?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
all of them, though. I don't know if you guys saw. Did you guys see August Rush?
I did. It's one of my favorite movies where he was playing that guitar and he was
Right.
homeless and a little boy was looking for his parents. And I cry every time I see the end. I love that movie.
So when I saw him there, I was so excited to meet Mr. Thomas and step up, and, like, I just wanted to see his energy and watch where he was at. And so grounded, so humble, super humble, just a mega talent, but just the warmest, nicest. It was a great cast. That experience on set, all of them. I'm gonna tell you right now, Matthew was it. You know, he probably doesn't even necessarily remember our interaction, but I'm going to tell you right now, Matthew reminded me of a lot of another Matthew Lillard from Scooby Doo, played Shaggy. He's got such a quirky, cool, like he's so, and yet both of those characters, maybe it's the name Matthew, I don't know what it is, but these guys are so chill, man. Like they're just so cool. They feel like your buddy from back in the day. They created a family and a home that you didn't want to leave, and you would never know the type of struggles that were going on that set, because there was a lot of
Percy, you had a moment with Leon, didn't
yeah.
you?
Yeah. I just want to let you know, when you was running around in the suit and everything, and Leon was running, he didn't have a suit on, but he was working just as hard, man. It was amazing.
I bet.
And
I bet.
I had to really talk to him, because it was like, I think they did it about 13 times, you know. And he was kind of like getting a little like, hey, man, come on, it's 2 a.m, man,
And how many ways can you chase a panda?
Right,
Yeah,
seriously.
Yeah, but he understood and kept doing. He was very professional.
Very
And
professional.
he did his job.
How did you get into stunt work? I'm sorry, were you going to ask something,
No, man,
honey?
come on, you're grandma.
Okay.
Everybody wanna hear you talk. You are grandma.
How did I? That's an interesting question. I moved out. I'm originally from Boston, Massachusetts, and so obviously, here's one of those situations where what is the old saying? If the mountain doesn't come to Muhammad, Muhammad goes to the mountain, and so there was nothing going on in Boston, so I relocated to California. Didn't know what I was doing. Got a regular job as a loan officer at a union bank, and secured myself with healthcare and all that stuff. And now I'm like, okay, I'm here. I can pay my rent. Now what do I do? And then there was a bookstore called Samuel French. So I started going to the bookstore to try to learn, like, where do I begin? What do I do? The how-to of getting in the industry. Because of course there was no internet. And so from there, I went to LA Valley College, and on Tuesday and Friday nights, they had an open gymnastic facility from 7 to 10 o'clock at night. And because of being a self-taught gymnast and martial artist, I always end up, people will always ask me, hey, can you...
Self-taught?
Gymnast?
And martial artist?
Oh, yeah. Wait, you know what it is? Mama, I grew up in a single family household. So mom couldn't afford, gymnastics and martial arts and all that stuff. And so she came up with an idea after getting me in one class for a trial-free class of taking a compass and mapping out 1 mile, 5 miles, 10, up to about 60 miles. And we would go to different martial arts schools around the area and do their free trial classes. And so I became the Hollywood Kung Fu martial art instructor. You start gathering information and it's translating. All these different styles came together. Then I find out Bruce Lee took a bunch of different styles and squeezed them all together. And I was like, hey, I'm like the Bruce Lee of film fighting. I took all these styles and brought it to camera. And so when I came out to California and started training a lot of different people, I didn't realize the people I was training were stunt people. And one young lady I was helping, she was a silver medalist for gymnastics. She got called for an audition to run up the wall and do a backflip, and she couldn't do it. And she saw that I did it. And so she said, hey, would you mind spotting and teaching me? So I taught her. And then she said, hey, would you mind coming tomorrow to my, it was a Coca-Cola, my Coca-Cola audition. And I went with her to spot her, and they were looking for 10 Olympic gymnasts for the spot. So I obviously had, I'm not an Olympian, so I'm not getting the job. And so I get there, I spot her. She does great. She was amazing. The people and the talent in that room was like, for a kid who's self-taught, that was like me going to the Olympics, just to be in that room and see the amazing, talented people there. And all of a sudden, while I'm off dazing off looking at all these people, she goes over to the casting people and says, this is my coach who trained me. Would you mind if he auditions? And I'm looking at her like, why would you ever do? I'm a street urchin compared to these people. Like, why are you doing that? Like, I'm on the spot now in front of people I've seen in college, gymnastics. And so now I'm belittling myself, and I go, listen, I'm not anything like these people. Like, I'm not at all. I am a self-taught street tumbler. I go, I'm not going to do what they do. but I'll show you what I do. And I just did one of my basic workouts. And when I was done, I booked the job. They didn't hire any of the 10 people. I booked the job. I got an agent. I got my SAG card, and I got residuals. And I gave my friend her 10% for bringing me in on that. And her name was Svetla. Svetla, I love that you asked that question, because I love sharing that story. Unfortunately, Svetla she had brain cancer, and she ended up passing away shortly after that.
Oh no!
But the gift that she gave me and the opportunity she gave me set my whole life and career, my family, set it all off. And you never know who you're helping out or who's listening to your podcast, and you don't know. You don't know.
Yeah.
I love that story though. So you got hired on the spot. They didn't hire the 10 other guys. So did you do all of the stunts that they thought all those people were going to do, or what was that about?
The commercial world is that's another lesson in itself. The breakdown says they're looking for 10 Olympic gymnasts, and they want this great and amazing skill level. And then when you do the spot, you end up doing a backflip, or you do a cartwheel. You do something so basic, because the movement has to translate to camera, and it needs to be cinematic. And they're not looking for gold medals. They're looking for cinematic, and they want something that excites the audience. And so it ends up being the most basic backflip. And that's all you ended up doing, a backflip. But at the audition, people were throwing twists and, double backs, and they were doing the most complicated stuff. Yeah.
And that's too much, because the camera can only catch so much motion, the way it's set up. So when you do too much, sometimes too little or just enough.
The first time I heard that, I was like, that was as little as I could give.
Yeah, that's interesting what you just said. I love what you just said, actually, right there. Percy, one thing you just said that's crazy. That is a hard thing to do. It is extremely hard to find safety giving what I call micro acting. It doesn't feel like enough for you as a performer. And so I ended up recently, unfortunately, it's taken this long. I'm so old, and it's taken this long. I'm so old.
We're all old, except for Panda baby over there.
Right. What's up, Panda? He's an old soul. Come on.
He is an old soul. He is.
But here's the thing. I worked on a show called Westworld on HBO with Anthony Hopkins and Jeffrey Wright. Love Jeffrey. Love him. Absolutely. I grew up watching Jeffrey. My first introduction to Jeffrey Wright was a movie he did called Basquiat. I remember thinking it was based on a painter, Jean-Michel Basquiat, who was this, who a lot of people thought was doing graffiti. And you would have different newscasters would walk in and go, "Don't you want to maybe finish this? Make it a little more refined, and kind of belittling him." But he was so elegant in the way he would handle things. But he ended up passing away in 1988 at about 28 years old. And Basquiat was played by Jeffrey in the early 90s. And just FYI, the irony is all of Basquiat's artwork now is basically $4 million. And so Jeffrey played this character, but what I didn't know is Jeffrey and I were partying at the same college parties back between 85 and 87. I always thought the brother was like 10 years older than me. It turned out Jeffrey's always been working with people 15 to 20 years his senior, that he kind of took on their energy, and he just carried himself that way. And so on Westworld, Bennett, tell me if this is too quiet. This is how they do what we're doing right now. If you were going to be on Westworld, you would find yourself sitting there thinking about performing the scene like this. You would never get louder than this. Now, regardless of how far away you are or how near you are, we never reach our voice any further than this. That's Westworld.
Any further than that. Yeah,
I've seen the show, and it's about these robots living in an alternative world and all this kind of stuff. And I know Jeffrey very well. If I recall, isn't he the one that killed Malcolm X or squealed on him in some movie? I never liked that dude after that. It was
that shows what a great actor he is, man. You see somebody do a part and you like hate that.
And he's the He's the first black Commissioner Gordon for the Batman franchise.
I
Wow.
heard. And that's that old soul, that
Yeah.
the way
Yeah,
he
Robert
carries
Pattinson.
himself.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah,
the best thing about acting. Age doesn't really matter.
Mhm.
It's all about a
Very true.
vision and what you translate through, the camera and
Yeah.
stuff. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with your age or anything like that. And it's a
Yeah.
wonderful profession.
It is. It's a blessing to be able to work in it.
That's the
You're
key
right.
word, blessing. I did a commercial where a
Oh,
lady came out and she got a bottle of Coca-Cola, the glass bottle. I had no idea who she was. And she walked by and I'm like, oh, girl. I'm like, that's the one. I love Coke in the bottle. Nothing tastes like that. And she's like, you're right. It is the best. And I'm like, yeah. So we go into the room. Guess who was doing the audition?
Coke
The
bottle
girl with
lady.
Coke bottle.
I love that you say that, man. Oh my God, I can't believe. I tell people all the Percy, I can't believe you just said that. I tell people all the time, as soon as you get out when you pull up in your car, as soon as you get out the car, you better be in character. You better start understand, because everybody in that street, I can't tell you how many times I have walked past the camera operator or the casting assistant in the elevator, on the stairwell, or putting money in the meter of the car.
Yeah. Be nice to
It's
everybody.
unbelievable. That's an amazing story
Be
you
nice
shared.
to everybody. I don't
Yes.
care who they are.
Yes.
And don't be critical.
No, especially about writers. If it's
Yes.
something written down, say it the way it's written, because writers are very sensitive.
Yes.
And you
Right,
can
Bennett?
change it. Look at you like.
It's like they
And
want
that's
to,
it.
they want to suck your blood. But speaking,
I'll cry into my panda hat.
that's right.
now, what do you know about Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Oh, what do I know about her? I know that she was born September 6th.
Oh my God, dude, really?
Yeah, tell us about it. We know you were involved with that show, right?
I was for about 3.5, almost 4 years. That's funny. Yeah, my fiance, the mama, my baby's mama, doubled Sarah Michelle Gellar for the last 4 seasons.
Talent is everywhere.
It
Wow.
is. What are you doing now? What's are you looking at in the future?
In the future, the most recent things I just finished, there's a show on Apple TV called For All Mankind. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. I don't have Apple TV, so I didn't know. And what I didn't know is they're on their 4th season. So it's a pretty good show. It's a pretty big show, and obviously 4 seasons they've survived, not getting cut by the network. So I just finished doing that show, and then I just finished another series called the Clauses. Tim Allen, and he's got a new TV show out right now called The Clauses. And then I just finished Jennifer Gardner has a new movie coming out on Netflix called Family Leave, and so that was really
I love her.
a great piece.
I'm
to work
locking
out.
those in. I would love to see your work.
Oh,
So
She
yeah, we
is the
definitely-
best.
Is she really? That's wonderful.
yeah,
She is.
Yeah.
She is so grounded and just normal and approachable. She feels like family. I mean, you it's the kind of person that you hope to work with, where I say you hope to work with, but the truth of the matter is it's the kind of person you hope whispers into the executive producer, please sign this person.
Yeah.
as a
I
regular.
want that guy.
'Cause
Yeah,
you don't want to leave. Like, this is what Hollywood should be like. People
Mhm.
like the Jennifer Gardners of the world. And so
Yeah. That's a good word.
Yeah.
Right there.
and that's
Bless you.
really how Hollywood works. We have one more question, and it's from a fan named Lorraine.
Yes.
Did the
Lorraine.
panda ever get tired of running?
Yeah.
he sure did. Oh man. Let me tell you, one of the time, I'm trying to be just as professional as the rest of them. Okay, I'm trying to make sure that you're not complaining. Yeah, by take 12, you're not complaining, but you're really. It was hard. It is hard work.
I
And
saw
so,
it. Mhm.
and I was, think about how many years ago we're talking. What year was that?
2011 or
Yeah,
something
around
like
there.
that.
Yeah.
I'm almost 60 years old.
No, you're not 60. Oh, well, maybe in panda years. we gonna beat that panda down. We love that panda thing.
Loved it, man. Everybody did. You kidding me?
We want you to have the opportunity to plug your social media. So if there's anything you want to share as far as your social media or what you have coming up or Anything. Shout out to anyone, or this is you.
All right. So, uh, this year, as I told you guys before, I used to play the Red and Green Ranger for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and we lost the one of the actors who I used to double, Jason David Frank, to suicide. And so I've just, to a lot of the listeners and fans that are out there, I want to make sure that people understand between COVID and between just life as a whole. Our whole worlds have been turned upside down. There's struggles that people have had before COVID. There's struggles that have continued on post COVID. And so I've watched how, my son just finished doing 2 years of college in his bedroom I always say he went to the university of his bedroom. It's understanding that we have to come together as a village. And when you hear people say all the time, it takes a village, I want everyone who does hear this to understand there is always somebody willing and able to listen to you. You just have to find the strength inside to ask for help. And so whether it be to speak to your family or speak to a friend or reach out to 911 if you have to. I know 988, I believe, is a suicide hotline. There's just people out there. You find me on social media. I'll talk to you on Facebook Messenger and Instagram. You can find me at Erik Betts Media on both Instagram and TikTok. There are people who will listen. I will listen. But please, this world is a better world with you in it than without. And that would be my message.
Amen.
That's a beautiful message
God
and very
bless you.
heartwarming.
Yeah, because it shows how his care for others and not just yourself. And I really appreciate that word. And you are a great guest.
Thank you.
Man.
You're excellent. And you rock a backwards hat like nobody's business.
It's
because I'm trying to hide a backwards.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's working.
Two things really quickly. Did you do the sound effects yourself for the Panda, or did they add that in? Did somebody else do it? Was it ADR? How did that happen?
In the costume, it's the helmet specifically was so thick, all you heard was get me out of here. That was it. You couldn't hear me doing I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, get me out of here. But you couldn't hear it. So they actually hired someone else to come in. I was not available. I wish to everything I was, but yeah, I wasn't available. And then they came up with the idea to make it one of the characters from iCarly, who was in the suit.
Tebow.
I don't know if you guys followed that or not, but yes. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
So the other thing is, I was looking earlier today. Did you come back to play the gorilla in the Gorilla Club?
Wow, you do your homework. Look at you, Bennett.
Oh, Bennett.
Look at you, boy.
We don't play.
That was a lot more aggressive too, because Tori had to fight you, right, in that episode?
let me be crystal clear about that, because just so you know, Bennett, you're the first person to ever ask me this question.
Wow.
Wow.
The gorilla suit, the most difficult costume I have ever rocked was the pudgy pig on Power Rangers in the iconic episode called Food Fight.
Wow.
That costume was this thick of foam latex all the way around. I could fill this up with just sweat out of my boot. The gorilla, I broke out with hives everywhere from the latex, the foam, it was like a rubber. That thing was the most aggressive suit I have ever worn in my life.
I bet it stuck to your skin, huh?
Yeah, it was great. And we shot longer hours than we did in the Panda costume.
Oh my God.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
unimaginable.
that has now taken the place of first prize for the most difficult costume work.
Wow.
Dude, I bet you don't even like to put on a jumpsuit after all that.
That's very impressive.
I'm always naked. I'm always naked now. That's it.
Okay.
Business on the top, freedom on the bottom.
iParty with Victorious on the bottom.
That's right.
Right. There you go.
I guess the moral of the story is that if you do a really good job as the Panda, they call you back to be a gorilla.
That's right.
That's true. I'll tell you one of the most embarrassing moments in the gorilla costume that is all over Google. I I started to sweat so much that I was losing too many electrolytes and so on and so forth that I started getting tremor. And so
Oh
the
my
nurse goes, "Here,
God.
you need a banana." And I was
No,
looking at him
she
like, "Wait,
didn't.
you just offered a black man in a gorilla costume a banana?
Yeah,
Come on,
but
woman. Come on."
so everybody out there, if you want more information on how to cure gorilla shakes or anything like that, anything
Yes,
could come up in the
yes,
Victoriously Crazy
absolutely.
podcast. I know Erik Betts has told us
Mhm.
so much,
Yeah.
so much.
And tell everybody that we found the panda.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
everyone.
man.
It's
Thank you.
What
Victoriously
a
Crazy
great interview.
podcast.
What a great interview.
Yes, follow us at Victoriously Crazy Podcast. Get that link, do that follow, do that subscribe, and pull out your panda suit while you're watching.
Yeah.
Well, there's this thing that we like to do called Andre's Grandma Acts Out. And so at the end of every podcast, we have a scenario, and Percy and I came up with the scenario of Andre's grandma goes to the bank, and she has to wear her mask.
Mm-hmm.
You can react to what we're saying, or you can just sit there and laugh. You do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, you're a customer in the bank.
That's right. And it's going to last a minute. So you want to start, say, Andre, Grandma, we're going to the bank. Go get your mask, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay. Grandma.
Oh, dang.
Are you serious?
Is that grandma?
This is my mask.
Wait a minute. They're going to think you here to rob the place with that mask. Uh-oh. Here we go.
I'll wear my mask where I want to wear my mask.
Oh, grandma, you scaring me.
Just give me my money and everything will be all right.
Oh, God, Grandma, you're something else.
I want $20 in pennies. No one's. No one's. No one's.
Pennies. You want them in pennies?
I'm going to the gumball machine.